Hello and welcome to my channel. My name's Jo, this is Joey Sewy, and in this video and a few coming videos I'm going to be telling you all about making a very special dress. So I've got a wedding to go to and I'm very excited. As I film this, it is only 6 days away, although we will be going back in time a little bit because I began filming this whole process about a month ago. I am going to be an evening guest at the first wedding that I've gone to for more than a year and a half, and I need to wear something and I didn't have anything to wear. So I don't go to many weddings at the moment because it's kind of not that time of life. Most of the people I know are already married. However, I do have one, or maybe one, but I do have a younger, very glamorous friend, and she's getting married on Saturday. And I'm very excited for her, and myself and my husband Tim are going to the evening reception and we can't wait to celebrate with them. But I haven't got anything to wear. So I looked through my wardrobe and everything I had either was summer appropriate or I didn't like anymore. And to be honest, we're only talking about choosing from 5 or 6 dresses at most. And I found myself stuck. I thought, well, I want to wear something really dressy. How often do I get to do that? Answer, not very often. So I want to wear something really dressy and special, and actually I want to wear something really dressy and special because my sewing generally recently has been all about the wearable stuff, and that is where I want my sewing to be, because there's for me no point in making thousands of really elegant dresses when I don't have a life where I'm going to wear thousands of elegant dresses. I've got a life where I'm going to wear one. And that'll probably be it again for a year and a half. But I do have an occasion to wear one, so I'm taking the opportunity to make something special. But I hit a brick wall because I didn't like the shapes really that I'd been choosing historically. I feel like my style's moved on, so I decided the best first step forward was to try on lots of different shapes of dresses. I browsed patterns initially, kind of dreaming, thinking, musing on things, and I just kept thinking, I don't know what that's going to look like on. It's so different to what I normally wear. I haven't a clue whether that's going to suit me or not. I don't know about the shape. I don't know about this. Am I choosing because that's familiar, or am I choosing that because it's different? Neither of which are the reason I want. I want to choose something that is special and that looks good on me. So what I decided to do was to go out to ready-to-wear shops and to do some online shopping and basically choose all the different shapes that I was interested in and all the different shapes that are current right now in fashion and try some of them on. And that's what this video is. It's me having a look at lots of different shapes of dresses, analysing what I like, what I don't like, the shape of the neckline, the shape of the sleeves, the length, all of that stuff, to hopefully by the end of it come to a decision about what I want to make. And then the next videos in this series are going to be about how I then translated that into finding the right pattern, and then I will show you what I made. I'm not quite at the end of that process, but I trust that by the time I show you the video, given that there's only 6 days to the wedding, I will be at the end of the process. So I'm going to cut to me a couple of weeks ago now, although I do know in the video I say it's a few days ago. Time moves on. Trying on all these dresses, and we'll go through all of those and I will see you again at the end. So this is me a few days ago trying on a whole bunch of dresses that I have ordered online to try out new shapes, new things, push my comfort zone, bust the myths I might hold about myself. So yeah, there is a mirror kind of behind where you are, so I will be looking in the mirror as well as looking at you, and we'll see. So this is the first dress. It's a gold dress. I've got a vest on. Gold dress. This is from Monsoon. The length is awful on me. I won't be wearing heels because I don't wear heels. I don't like wearing heels. It would make it slightly better, but all the dresses from Monsoon I have a problem with because I'm too short for their sizing. it's a bit big across the back, and this goes way too deep for me. I would need it about there. But I do quite like the knot. I like the shape of the sleeves. So I like it more than I expected to like it. I think if I kept it, I'd take it to just below knee length. But I hate buying stuff that I have to change, because then I'm annoyed about the fact I've had to spend money. So yeah, I like the knot detail. I like the sleeves. The V is way too deep because it's not made for my taste or size, and the length is wrong. I think it might work better because it's kind of an A-line shape, and I think it would be more flattering at that sort of length. So let's try the next one. So this is a green dress, you can see that. It's a much more fitted shape. Again, I think the length is really bad. I have quite, proportionally, quite thick lower legs, and so to cut them in half is, I find it very unflattering on my figure. This is not a shape I would normally wear at all, and I do quite like the how it looks. This is a UK size 12, because if I got a smaller size, it wouldn't fit here. However, I am finding that it's a little bit, I think it would be better for it to sit there on my body than there. In fact, if you look at where the bust points are, that's where it should sit. So it's too big at the top. But if it were to fit, I think this is a really nice shape on me, and this is definitely 100 million miles outside my normal comfort zone. So as a shape, it's a maybe. It doesn't really fit with the fabric I've got to play with, but for future reference, I think it's a definite maybe. And I think if I was going to keep it, we'd need to look at the length being kind of, not with a split like that, but we'd need to look at the length being there. And if you put the length there, in my mirror anyway, I think it looks a lot better. It's a lot more flattering. So length there, pull that up to there, and we've got a dress that could potentially work. But clearly, that's not how it comes from the shop. Moving on. So this is, I don't think it's silk, I think it's synthetic, but it's a pretend silk dress. It's kind of it's got a wrap front, tea dress style, and I hate it. The dress is alright, but I do not like the style on me. It's too big here for a start. Again, I've got a size 12 here because I wasn't sure how it would fit over my hips. And the 12 does fit over my hips as a dress, but then it's too big. This goes far too low for my tastes, but it just makes me feel old. I'm looking, I don't know if I've said this in the introduction, but I am looking at shapes here. I'm not looking at pattern because I'm not intending to keep the dresses, so I'm trying to look past the pattern, but the pattern's not my favourite anyway. I think it could be okay in other things, but I don't like wrap shapes on me. And this one, I think the extra width here in the shoulders is quite a good idea to balance things out, and I am enjoying the shape of the sleeves, but overall this is definitely not the dress I would choose. Again, the length is really unflattering on my legs in my opinion, so this is nothing to consider here, except maybe something that gives an extra little bit of width or substance to my shoulders. Next dress. So this is a kind of a straight up and down shape. It's got a tie here, however every time I've tied it, it just falls apart again. And the ties fall apart, which is probably why this dress is in the sale at the moment. It has got an interesting construction here, which is that the darts, so there are no other darts in the bodice, but the darts are created here, but they're not folded in. The shaping of the darts from the bust point down is left open. It's really hard to show you with this fabric, but it's left open so it becomes part of the tie. And I actually find that quite flattering and also quite an interesting construction detail. However, it falls down because the tie will not stay tied. You can try a bow, just pulled it really tight, and in seconds it comes apart, even if I don't encourage it. I could try a double knot. Even that's a bit loose, so I'm pulling it into a double knot. It's a bit loose, and also you end up with this thing going on. So there's in the manufacturing process, somewhere along the lines, no one has really checked that the style detail works with the fabric, and it doesn't work because it can't hold it. If I were to keep this, my solution would basically be that I would sew the tie shut. That's what needs to happen. So you need to get a bow that you like and then just put some stitches in, and that would solve it. So there is a solution, but again, I said before, I don't like buying dresses that I have to alter, not at full price, not brand new, because it kind of feels like I've been cheated. Or maybe I'm just lazy, I don't know, I just don't like doing it. Anyway, what is to like about this dress? Well, I really like the print, and I'm not supposed to be looking at the print, but I really like the Japanese style. The print placement that they've got on this dress is pretty poor, because you've got something here cut in half, so that's not great. But if you look lower down at the print, it's got these gold fish on it. There's the goldfish. There's a goldfish in my armpit. So I could have done better with the print placement. But this isn't supposed to be a critique of how they've made the dress, it's looking at the shape. I quite like the flutter sleeves and the elbow length. So this is a February wedding, it's not going to be warm, although it's only the evening wedding, so I'm going to be indoors. So it's kind of a balance of, I don't need to wear a woolly jumper, but it is February. It's a little bit big around the back for me, it's not the most flattering, but unusually I quite like it. If I were to keep it, and I have actually thought about keeping this one because it is really cheap for a monsoon dress. I think it's only £29 in the sale. Again, I would need to bring it up to be just below knee level, I think, and then I'd have to fix the tie. So if we basically remake the dress, so when the tie works, it won't stay shut. It does pull in the back a little bit. I don't think it's meant to, because what I'm doing is pulling the side seam forwards. But anyway, it does solve that a little bit. I would have to shorten it, move the slit to the side or the back, and then it would work okay. And I do really like the print. So I had considered it, but I'm not going to keep it because that wasn't the point of this. And also there's just so much to change that I don't want to have to remake the dress. But I do think it's quite pretty, and I do like this bringing the bust darts into a tie at one side idea, which if you're making your own dress you could do much more effectively than this one. So there are things to like, but not particularly anything I think I want to take forwards. It feels a bit like a summer wedding dress, maybe. Yeah, it's not the right one, but there's some interesting stuff in this one. I found it a bit more interesting than others. We've got a princess dress. This is much more gown-like. I am right on my tiptoes, first of all. If I go down to the floor, we've got dress all over the floor. But this is gorgeous. It fits quite well. It's a size 12, so what I really need is half a size smaller here and half a size bigger here, but it would do. It's very sparkly. I wouldn't be able to mimic this at all with home sewing unless I found the right fabric. I do quite like I'm not sure how, okay, you have to arrange the shoulder flips correctly. Yeah, I think, okay, we've got the shoulder flips going right there. Again, it's all right. I'd rather it was just a little bit higher. Just there would make me feel more secure, but I can wear it and it's okay there. I like the in and out. I don't like that I'm constantly right on my tiptoes. I'm literally like total tiptoes, as high as I can go. I don't even own any shoes that high. So I would have to be re-hemming this dress if I kept it, which again, that's not the point. The construction of this, let's have a look. It underneath here is actually, this is actually jersey. So this is a stretchy jersey, which I think it feels a lot more comfortable than it looks like it might feel, because the underneath is jersey. Is that the lowest layer? Yeah. So we've got a layer of tulle fabric, ta-da, which is over the top of a layer. Look, those shoulders have gone wrong again. Which is over the top of a layer of jersey, so it is actually really comfortable to sit in. There's no structure or boning in here, and that's quite interesting that it's managed to be that comfortable. So I could definitely wear this and feel like a princess. But this particular dress, I might also look a bit like a bridesmaid. I have no idea what the colours of the wedding are, but there is that risk that you could potentially look like a bridesmaid. It has very limited applicability to wearing it any other time because it's so dressed up, so it probably pushes a little bit too far into the super dressed up. But oh my god, I feel like a princess in this dress. It's amazing. And I'm going to have to talk to myself very sternly to put it back in the box. But it does need to go back in the box. Actually, one thing I'll show you. Let's see. I ordered a couple of jackets, partly thinking about the February thing. So this would be quite a cold dress, wouldn't it? So if I wanted to wear a dress that didn't have sleeves itself, I thought that I should try a jacket. Hello, Felix. And that one matches quite nicely. There we go. You in your pyjamas.
Hello, I'm on YouTube.
Boy in his pyjamas, me wearing a princess dress. So again, the shoulder things have gone strange. I'd have to tie those down, I think. But the colour match is nice. And yeah, I like that jacket. That's a nice shape. The cropped jacket over the top of this dress. So if I have an award ceremony to go to, I could wear this dress. This one, again, I'm on my tiptoes to make it, actually even on my tiptoes it's dragging on the floor. But this one is really 1930s inspired. I chose to try this one on because I wanted to try a cape style. I'd seen quite a lot of capes and I wanted to see what they looked like on, and I do actually really quite like the cape shape. The back of this is quite low, although I still have a bra on and I'm able to wear a regular bra with it, so that's very practical, like that. I like that it's higher. I don't tend to go for V-necks, even though quite a few of the ones I've tried so far, I just prefer this style. I think with a small bust like mine, it's more flattering, I feel more comfortable. So yeah, that's generally what I prefer. So this is the most expensive dress, and it's because of all the beading. The beading on this dress goes right down to the bottom. And again, it's constructed, it's very comfortable. It is a little bit big in the top as ever, but again, it's constructed with jersey as it's underneath, and then the beaded tulle as an upper layer, and then the cape under here. It's basically just a simple dress with so it's got 3 layers on the top. It has the kind of slip layer, which is what's under the whole dress. It's got a tulle layer, which is just a simple shape, and then it's got the embroidered cape over the top. So that's interesting to see. That's how it's constructed. And then the cape is just kind of caught into the waist seam here. So you get a really dramatic shape, and it's not a particularly complicated construction. I think one of the things that makes this shape work really well is that it's light fabric but also heavy fabric. It does both. So it's light tulle, but the beads give it a really nice fall on the shoulders. So if you wanted to do this sort of shape, I think finding the right fabric that has that combination of being heavy and light would be really important to the success of it. It's got this the extra embellishment of a kind of flower shape here at the hip, on the front and the back. I think mean, it doesn't fit brilliantly, and I'm not sure how it falls at the back. It fits all right. If I wasn't so picky, if I didn't fit my own clothes, I probably wouldn't notice these things. And it is a beautiful dress, but I think probably this is a little bit outside what I've got the capacity to do in the time that I've got. Although I do like the cape idea, and there is another dress that I'm going to put on next that also kind of uses the cape idea. So yeah, interesting. Probably not something I'm going to be able to translate because I don't have the right fabric. Let's see how it works with a jacket over the top. I'm not sure how you get a cape under a jacket. It might be totally impractical. Obviously, again, I know the colours. Well, actually, the colours of these aren't too bad. So that's feeling all right, actually. Yeah, that feels okay having the cape underneath. Probably because, again, it's a lightweight fabric, so it's not got a lot of bulk to it. And the waist of this jacket, this cropped jacket, is exactly at the waist of the dress. So in terms of the two shapes together, actually, I find them quite nice. So that's worth knowing, and I can get that was just going into the sleeve easily. So next dress is a really glorious colour. So this one is fairly special, although it does have issues, but just look at this. So I thought it was silk, and I've just spent 2 minutes looking for the label inside, and it's not, it's polyester, but it feels like silk. It's a very good polyester. It has a cape. Look, I can swoop and save people in a single bound with my cape. I'm sure I'm supposed to be more sophisticated than that. It has a draped neckline, which is one of my favourite types of neckline. The back is like this. This is a size 12. It fits quite well. I do like how the cape covers the bottom area largely, because on this kind of dress, that can be the area that you can be really conscious of. So I actually love how the cape detail obscures it but doesn't take away the shape. It's very, very long. I'm right on my tiptoes and it's still dragging on the floor, so it has that issue. The other issue is that it's got a weird seam going on here, which I don't know, maybe if you pressed it, it might sit better. It has been hung up for most of a week, so it hasn't been crushed, it's been hung, and this seam is weird. Not particularly nice. This dress is £170 if you're going to buy it, which is not as expensive as you could pay, but in my world, for a high street ready to wear dress, that's a lot of money. And yeah, this is not ideal. I like the gathering here. I think that's really flattering. I think it looks lovely. So everything from here to here, really happy with. Love the cape. I think I have to wear things with capes all the time from now on, just so that I can do that. I like that it's one-sided as well, because I think two-sided maybe would be too much, but one-sided, there is a lot to love about this dress. I am being seduced by the colour somewhat, because I think the colour is gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful, the colour, and just my colour, and I need to not be seduced by that, because unless I'm actually going to keep it, and probably, I don't know, I liked the princess beaded dress, but I like this one even more. I think this one, I'm not going to look like a bridesmaid in the same way that I could. Probably dressing a little bit more my age, although to be honest, I'm not sure I believe in dressing your age anyway. It is way too long, so there would be some re-hemming required of about 6 inches so that I could wear it properly. Oh, it's got a very big side split there. I hadn't seen that. I'm not sure if you need that because there's a lot of fullness, but yeah, I can go doo-doo. I can dance like Morecambe and Wise. That is not how I dance. But this is a bit odd. This is very odd. This funny. I've just shown Tim and he's like, yeah, but what's that thing going around your tummy? It is quite creased. I don't know whether it gets super creased. Let's scrunch it up a bit while I chat to you and see if it creases. But yeah, I love the drape here. I like the gather up to the waist. I think that's very flattering. Does it crease? No, not really. So maybe if I gave it a steam and a press, that would sit better. But it's not caught into the seam all that well. And there is a zip here, which I think is probably... Tell you what, I'll try the smaller size on. I suspect in the smaller size, my bottom's not going to be as flattered because my bottom's going to struggle for space. But I did order 2 sizes of this one, so I'll try the smaller size and see if this is the same. Let's find out. So same dress, smaller size, and definitely more snug around here, although feels better. Weirdly, I hate when they do this. It is slightly shorter. I'm still right on my tiptoes, but it is a bit shorter. Bottom wise, definitely a few more lumps showing, although I'm not wearing shapewear underwear, so that could be smoothed out. But the main reason to try the smaller size was to have a look at this. Now, definitely the waist is so much better. It was nice on the other dress, but here it's like, woo, and I'm like, oh yes. I'm not even sure that's my real shape, but I'm going to go with it. It's lovely, and the gather round to there is beautiful. I've got one of the hanging ties that stuck out, so I really do like that a lot. And that side view, cape's just as good. This one's got a bit more of a crease in it. So I think it is slightly better on the smaller size. That see if I could show you. So there's a side zip in the dress, and the construction, obviously they haven't got a waist seam, but where they've got the seam between the top and the bottom, they've decided to run it diagonally down to there. And I think on this smaller size it probably does fit better in that sense, but I'm not sure whether it fits better overall. We're pushing up against here my unfamiliarity about how tightly I should fit into dresses like this, and I'm not quite sure. So that was, I think out of the 2 of them, if I was going to keep one of them, I'd be keeping this size, but I'd be wishing that my bottom had more space in the other size. You know, maybe if we just pulled it up a bit. Oh, that's better. But I can't wear it. There's nothing I can do to pull that up, and obviously it destroys that part. So what have I learnt from this dress? I like capes very much. I would like a cape, please. I really like the draped cowl kind of neckline. I think that's probably my favourite neckline. I think that's a neckline that's really good for smaller busts. I love the gather up to the side. That's really nice. It's very flattering because I have relatively quite a narrow waist and wider hips, and so if we want to go for, which in an evening dress, why wouldn't you, then that's great. So yeah, I've got 2 more. Oh no, three more. One more is much more of an evening dress still, and the other 2 are different again. So let's move on. So this is a different shape, different construction, and still too long, but it's quite elegant. It's really simple. It's got an empire line waist, and then it's got underneath there is a slip style dress. I'm wearing the wrong colour bra because it's light, but anyway, underneath a slip style dress, which as ever could do with sitting a little bit higher on my body. And then there is a lace overlay, which is too big, but it's got raglan sleeves at the back. Oh, I think it should be fastened with that makes it fit better. Oh yeah, that does actually make it fit a lot better. So at the back there is a keyhole opening to here. There's a zip down the centre, a single button there. So yeah, really simple shape. Is that a centre front seam? It is a centre front seam to get the lace detail in. So it's a really pretty detail at the top. It's quite demure. I'm not sure don't know, I don't feel very special because it's navy blue. It would be nice enough as a holiday dress if the length was different, but as a full-length dress, I think this is a dress you put your bridesmaids in if you want them to look elegant but you don't want them to shine out in the pictures. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, it's nice enough. The shape's quite nice. It's a little bit big, especially at the top. I mean, everything could do with being a bit higher up on my body. So it doesn't fit brilliantly, although it fits better now. I realised I had to do the button up at the back. But I'm not sure there's a lot to know about this one. It doesn't feel like it's where I want to go with the shape. And after the blue dress, everything's going to feel a little bit flat, isn't it? So we will move on. I have two more dresses, and they're both not evening dresses in the way that they're constructed at the moment, but I'm hoping there might be something that I could do with the shapes, so I will show you those. So this is very different. We've got a leopard print. Again, remember, I'm looking at the shapes, not the print, although actually I love this print. This is a shirt dress. It's from River Island, so everything I've shown you so far was from a shop called Monsoon in the UK. It has got rather fabulous full arms. Love those. It's got a tie at the neck. It's got a V, which again goes a bit too low. There I would be happier with. But this whole dress, I'll show you a picture of what it looks like on the model online. She's a lot taller than me. So this is floor length for me. On her, it's kind of ankle length. At least it's not draping on the floor like the other ones. I could wear this without re-hemming it. So it has these huge dramatic sleeves. It hasn't got a waist tie, but it is brought in at the waist. The fabric is viscose. It has a mandarin collar. It doesn't have a yoke. I'm just feeling, no, it doesn't have a yoke, but it does have princess seams that come from the armhole. Yeah, princess seams that come from the armhole down to a waist line, and then it has a 8-panelled skirt, and then the skirt from here, which is just on my knee line, the skirt downwards is actually a ruffle, which gets lost a little bit in this pattern, but I do like how it just pushes it slightly further than an average shirt dress. I mean, the print I think takes it further anyway. And I really like this. I really like the full length. It's a relief to put something on that I can actually stand on the floor and not have to trip over. But that's a point. Being small, I'm 5'4" and a little bit, and most dresses are made for 5'7", sometimes taller, unless you're buying a petite size. So yeah, so basically I always end up with them dragging on the floor. What I do like, this was something from one of the earlier dresses, is that this does have some gather at the sleeve, which just adds a little bit there. And for my shape, I think it balances things out. I've learned that about my shape a little bit. So actually, I really like this shape dress. It's not as dramatic as the blue dress, but maybe that's pushing things a little bit too far. I don't know. I think I might be a little bit nervous about turning up to a wedding in case I was overdressed. Although it is going to be quite a glamorous wedding, I don't know. Whereas this shape, again, I do quite like the leopard print, but I don't think this is the print I would wear. I've got fabric in mind, but this shape I think is dramatic enough, but it is also not too dramatic. It walks the line quite well. So I really like this one. Let's just have a look if I wanted to put a jacket with it. I'm not sure how these sleeves go underneath. I think also this dress has some wearability potential outside of a wedding. So, not too bad. I have deliberately let the sleeves ride up my arms a little bit for this one. but I quite like that. I think it looks nice with a jacket over the top. Remember, we're not looking at colours, just shapes. So the bulk of the sleeves, because this fabric itself is viscose, so it's very drapey. But I think that looks quite nice over the top. This crop shaped jacket has looked good over a lot of the dresses actually. I'm liking it a lot. So I've got one more dress to show you, and that is similar to this one in that it is a shirt dress. It's not intended as it's currently made as an evening dress. So see what you think of that one. So this is a shirt dress. Again, it's got pockets. We need a little fanfare for that, don't we? And it's got pockets. It's a very traditional shirt dress shape in that it has an actual shirt collar. It has buttons down the front. The leopard print one, you may not have been able to see the buttons. Don't know if you can see the buttons on this one. In fact, this is in a hidden placket, so you're not going to be able to see it. You can wear it as open as you like, or you could, in theory, wear it all the way to the top. This one has a waist tie, which gets a bit lost in the print, but it does have a waist tie. Again, on the model, it's about ankle length. On me, it's floor length, but that's all right because I want floor length, so I'm fine with that. I feel like this one doesn't, for some reason, doesn't quite skim my figure as much. I think the skirt flares more from the waist rather than the leopard print dress. I think flared a little bit lower down, so it caught more of the curve. So in terms of the shape, I think I prefer the leopard print one, but that's something I could change in the fit of the pattern. That's the whole point of this. The sleeves on this are kind of part way towards the leopard print sleeves. They have a little bit of a gather here, and they have some fullness, but they don't have all of that drama of the leopard print one, and I do think I really did like the drama. But this one, made in the right fabric, would elevate it, but also because it's a simpler shape would potentially be more wearable. And although I've got all excited about the really evening-y type dresses, I'm getting a little bit scared that they actually might, for the event I'm thinking of, might just be pushed too far. So yeah, we will see. I'm going to go and have a lot of thinking time now about what shape is the right shape for me. I'm going to research some patterns. That will probably do some of the decision for me, because if I can't find good patterns to copy, I haven't got time to really mess around a lot with patterns because I've only got 3 weeks. So we will see. To just say about the shape of this dress, the leopard print one had the princess seams. This just has bust darts. So the shirt top, it doesn't have a yoke. It's hard to see with the pattern. It doesn't have a yoke. It's got a centre back seam, so there might be a little bit of shaping in the centre back seam. It has an 8-panelled skirt like the last one, but it doesn't have the princess seams here. So the top potentially is a little bit less fitted and simpler construction, the top part of the skirt. The bottom part of the skirt, apart from the fullness that I mentioned, the actual construction is identical. But I do like the shirt dress shape, and I know that shirt dresses can be kind of dressed down or really dressed up depending on the fabric. So this is viscose. You could wear this depending on your job. You could wear this for work. It would be, you could definitely make it warmer, thinking about everyday dressing with a jumper over the top and tights underneath and boots, but this would be really cool in summer as well. So this particular dress would be very versatile, but I'm not supposed to be shopping. I'm supposed to be exploring shapes, and I do like this shape. It's different. I've got shirts, and I do like wearing shirts, but I don't have any shirt dresses, certainly not anything like this. So it's been really good to remember what it's like to wear full length things. So I'll go away and do some thinking and see what patterns I can find. So that was a very fun morning, but it was tiring. Goodness me, getting dressed, getting undressed, putting all the things on. But as I hope you saw, it was such a useful thought process. Having all those different shapes on my body really did do what I wanted it to do, which was to push me into places that I don't think I would have gone to without that, and to help me make a decision that what I'm going to make, so something a bit like that last shirt dress that I showed you, but something elevated to make it a bit more special, so that I know what I'm going to make will suit my body, and is going to be what I want it to be before I commit all the time to making the actual garment. Because when you make a special dress, it takes a long time, and I didn't want to invest all of that and get to the end and not actually have solved my problem, because that would be a bit annoying, especially given that now it's very tight for time, and I don't think I'd have a lot of time to sew something else. So the next video I am going to share with you, I'm going to show you how I've gone through the process of finding a pattern that fits that shape, because it's one thing me having gone through all of this and found a shape that I love, which I've done, but now I have to find a pattern that translates that. How am I going to do that? I'm going to share that with you in my next video. So I hope you've enjoyed this one. Let me know what you thought about the whole video in the comments down below, and I will see you again very soon with the next step in my exciting dressmaking process. Bye!